So you've done the difficult internal work. You've listened to the previous 3 episodes, have named your wake-up call moment, have excavated what parts of yourself got buried or traded for something else, and chosen to release what no longer fits you. Now you're standing in the clearing, and it's equal parts exciting and terrifying. This episode is where the series shifts from introspective to generative. It's not about a 5-year plan or a dramatic life overhaul. It's about the first honest, grounded steps towards building something that actually reflects who you are now. Your values, your desires, your wisdom, and all. You're listening to the Midlife Plot Twist podcast, and this is episode 27. Hi everyone. This might be a quicker episode than usual. That in fact it will be. Because my daughter started having contractions last night, and I suspect my little girl will be a mama for the first time this weekend. And I'll be a grandma for the first time. I am so excited. I can't express how excited I am, but I'm excited and honored to be able to support her in this part of her journey, and am not likely to be available on Monday. So I'm pre-recording this today. So up to this point, episodes 1 through 3 of the Midlife Reclamation series asked a lot. Recognition, excavation, and release. We've been looking back and looking inward for 3 episodes now, and today we turn our gaze to the horizon and look forward. I want to dismantle the cultural myth that rebuilding means finding your one true calling. Instead, I'm replacing that with this idea of reclamation or reclaiming things that we've left behind, buried, or traded in the past. It's not about finding your one true calling and pivoting dramatically toward it. This advice fails women in midlife because, for one, our passions are often quieter and more complex in our 40s than they were at, say, 18 or 22 years old. Also, the pressure to have a grand vision can paralyze the first small step that all change requires and that everyone needs to take when they are going through change. Next, rebuilding isn't one decision we make and then do. It's a series of small, intentional choices and steps made over time. And it's also our goal isn't to have a perfect life. Our goal is to live an authentic one that's aligned with who we truly are, what we value, and something that valorizes our skills, our experience, and wisdom, and puts them to good use. So, yeah, let's try to look away from these big dramatic pivots and this big, huge rebuilding. Like, life does involve rebuilding sometimes, absolutely. At the end of a relationship or a marriage, at the end of a career, at the end of something, there is rebuilding to do. But if we can focus on this exercise of reclamation at this point in midlife, something really fruitful can come out of that and really beautiful. What I see out there on social media about leveling up, I put in quotation, air quotes here, about leveling up our lives or about, quote, redefining midlife and so on, is told in a way that's like, it's like designing a brand on social media almost. But you and I are not brands. We are women in midlife. We are women in our 40s. We are designing our lives or wanting to, and to live a life that's full of desire and living within our values and intentions. And life gets built one choice, one step, one misstep, one decision at a time. And so today I'd like to be very practical. In designing our lives, there is a distinction to be clarified between goals and between goals and values. Goals tell you what to go after. They are often external and achievement oriented, whereas values tell you in which direction to walk. They are internal to us, and they're like a compass, or I'll say like compass oriented instead of achievement oriented. I think it's better to start, when we're looking to that horizon, we're looking forward, we're looking ahead, having assessed our past. It's better to look forward and start with our values than our goals. Values will tell us what decision to make when we face moments of where there's a decision to be made. And what is the look and feel of the horizon we are looking towards? That will be our compass. And our values tell us something about that. And then after that, we need to map, how we're getting towards that horizon. And those could be our goals. So to access your values, I have 3 questions to ask you. The first is to think about a recent moment when you felt most like yourself, most alive, most at ease, most in the right place at the right time. What was that moment? And really take your time and breathe through it and really describe it. Describe how it felt, how it looked, what it sounded like. Were there textures or colors associated with it that stood out to you? The second is to think about what makes you genuinely angry or sad when it's absent from your life. What are these things? And the third question is look at what you defended most fiercely, or what had the most resistance to being let go of in the release work from the previous episode 3. What were you protecting? The answers to these questions, these are just a starting point to your values compass and the foundation of what you build next. And I'll give you an example. So I won't read all of it, but in short, my answers to number 1 are being at the beach on a cloudless day, going between feeling the warmth of the sun on my skin and the coolness of the water when I dive in. I feel most like myself because I'm in my body. I'm grounded, unhurried, at ease, in touch with nature, and I am in the present. I breathe with ease. The answer, in short, to number 2 is that it makes me angry when I don't have time to rest, to be gentle with myself, when I don't have time to be creative or to explore and devote time to my spiritual side, when I don't have time to write. It makes me sad if I'm unable to help someone who is suffering. And the third is the high achiever, actually. I was protecting the high achiever most fiercely in that last exercise last week because I don't yet know exactly what life looks like without striving towards achievement or to achieve. But it is, how do I say this? It is important to me to be a human being rather than always a human doing. So all of these things point to core values of mine. From this exercise, I pulled that I value nature, being in the present moment and grounded in my body, not just in my mind all the time. I value time to myself, self-care, creativity, and spirituality. I value being helpful to others, and I value the part of myself who is capable, intelligent, and driven. I hope that my example illustrates how rich and fruitful this exercise can be. Go through the 3 questions and really think and feel your way through them. And whatever you write down, you can then distill values from these things. I don't know if you could hear my watch ping. in the background there, but every time it pings, I'm like, oh, my daughter. But it's not. Okay, so now I have a really simple framework to offer. For any decision, relationship, commitment, choice, or goal you want to set for yourself, as is in our case right now, we're determining values and goals. You have to make in this next chapter of your life, like any time you have to make, God, I'm sorry, I'm distracted by my phone. And because I always do this real time, well, I'm not going to edit this out. Yeah, so here's a framework. You can ask yourself, are the values I just uncovered expressed in and respected by the decision, the relationship, the commitment, the choice, or the goal that I'm working with right now? Number 2, does this reflect who I actually am today or who I used to be? Number 3, does this give me energy or does it take it away? And number 4, if no one was watching and there were no consequences, would I still choose this? So anytime you're facing a decision, a choice, examining a relationship, a commitment, and what I said before, you can run through these questions like a framework, and they will tie you to your values and what's important in the present, as opposed to relying on old information from past selves. These aren't meant to be answered at once. This is an ongoing process that will change and shift and be refined over time. And it shouldn't be thought of I said it very linearly, but it shouldn't be thought of as linear. It's very circular. You'll go back around and around these questions when you're facing choices or decisions at any given time. So this is short today. I think that's all I have to say for today. I'll just emphasize that the framework that I gave should be thought of as a practice as you reclaim who you are and build your life from that standpoint. I'll actually end this episode today with a bit of a story to illustrate how I've put the work outlined in episodes 1 through 4 into practice. So in episode 1, called I Can't Do This Anymore, it's based on the moment that I realized I couldn't go on teaching and burning the candle at both ends as I was. I was burned out and suffering with chronic illness. And when I started to think about what else I could do other than be a professor, it wasn't something brand new that I had never considered before. It was desires that I had held for myself from long ago that I decided to reclaim. In episode 2, I had traded my desire to be a writer and a therapist to become a professor. It seemed like it checked all the boxes for me at the time. It was also, it seemed to be to be more stable and felt more secure as a profession than, say, being a writer. And I decided to reclaim the creative and helpful parts of myself, compassionate parts of myself who want a career that includes these values. In episode 3, letting go of who we're supposed to be, well, I thought I was supposed to be a professor and an academic writer at least. And I have to let go of the high achiever, not because there's something wrong with that, but because it doesn't fit my current lifestyle, my priorities, and my values. I'm still defining what takes its place. I don't exactly know what life looks like when I'm not striving towards achieving this or that. With the energy and drive that I did before. And all that to say, I am still evolving deliberately. I am deliberately evolving. This week, I want you to identify just one area of your life, one relationship, one commitment, or one daily habit, and ask yourself, does this belong in the life I'm building, Or does it lovingly belong to the life I'm leaving behind? Just one, just focus on one area or one thing and start there. Next week is the last episode in this Midlife Reclamation series, and honestly, it might end up being my favorite one. We're not going to talk about what to build anymore. We're going to talk about what it actually feels like to live it. Since I'm still going through the motions of this current change, I'm going to call on a past experience of mine and share a bit about that. To explain what it feels like to live these things when we've gone through a significant change, and how to stay in your own life and your own values when everything around you is still pulling you back to the old one. So that's it for this week. Wow, this episode feels messy. As my PhD supervisor would tell me all the time, something that is done is better than something that is perfect, or trying for something done is better than trying for something perfect, something like that. Anyways, I even screwed that up. Have a great week, everyone, and hopefully I will have so much news for you in the next episode. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed it. As always, please follow the show on whatever platform you're using to listen, whether it's Apple Podcasts or Spotify or Podbean or wherever. Also, come and find my new account on Threads. It's under the same handle as everywhere, Midlife Plot Twist Podcast. Come follow me on Instagram, same handle, Midlife Plot Twist Podcast. And if you'd like to, you can email me. My email is midlifeplottwistpodcast@gmail.com. And if you are still here listening to this and you happen to be a young grandmother, please email me. I would love to talk to you. And that's it. Until next week, be well.